Hi everyone, it's Helen here and thank you for joining me today. So today I have a design team project to make with you. So this is by Knitwick Collections and this collection is called Recollect and it's very vintage and heritage looking. So I've got all my images here. I've printed them off, so you just download the collections and you can print off or you can use the images with your software on your computer, so for example Photoshop. So I have some elements here as well. So today we're going to be making a flip book. So I've never made an envelope flip book before. I've seen them on plenty of tutorials on YouTube already, so I'm going to give one a go today. So I'm going to make it out of some square envelopes. Just double check the size of these. I can't remember what they are. I think they're for 5x5 cards, so they're just a smidge over 5. So I'm going to just use 3 envelopes. I don't want to make it too big. So grab a scoreboard. We're jumping straight into the tutorial today. Right, so what we're going to do is just reinforce this line here where the fold of the envelope is, and then we are going to go on this line here. So this is 1, 2, 3, so 3/8 of an inch up. You can choose whatever size you want for your spacing here, but I'm going to be choosing 3/8 of an inch, so I'm going to do that on all 3 of my envelopes. I'm just reinforcing this one as well. This one's stuck down. Let's get another one out. Whoops. Okay, that's all of our scoring done. Right, so let's get these folded down again. Okay, so we're going to be needing some double-sided tape. You can use anything, glue, you can use anything you want. So what we're going to be doing is, let's get our orientations right. We're going to be gluing this section here to the back of this section there. So let's get this all covered up with tape. A bit of fluff there. Just going to use my Paper Mania block for that. Saves getting the scissors out. Because I'm cutting at an angle, I can just turn it round and the angle is on the other side. Okay, press all that down. So I'm going to use the lines on my grid mat here just to help me line everything up. Okay, so I've gone up to the score line, but I haven't covered it. Okay, so we're going to have pocket here, and on the third one we're going to have another pocket. So I'm going to cover this one with tape and then stick it onto there, and then I'll be right back. Okay, so I've stuck everything together so it folds up nicely. I'm going to have it in this orientation. So this last envelope flap is going to be part of the front cover. So it's going to open up just like so, and I've cut my papers down to 5x5, so they're going to fit on just like that. So I think this one's going to be my front cover. So what I'm going to be doing is So I'll be putting that on there, and I'll be using a 1.5 inch circle punch just to create a notch hole, so people know when they look in this book that this is a pocket and they can slide something out. So some people do actually trim it here so that it's visible that there is a pocket there, but I like the thumb holds, and I think this actually does keep in with the keeping of the time and the heritage look, so I think it's going to go well, go really well together. So this one's probably my favourite patterned paper there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add my papers and see which orientation I like the best. So I think this one's upside down. We're just going to live with it upside down. Actually, I do have a spare one here, so we'll put that aside and we'll put that one there. Okay, so I'm going to have a play around, and then what I'm going to do is when I glue them down, I'm only going to add glue along 3 edges here and towards the middle, because any glue that you add here will stop the pocket from working. So I'm going to do all that and then I'll be right back. Okay, so I've got all my papers added. So this is my front page, and then I'm going to add something here. So this is the back page. So we're going to open it up just like that. And we have some pockets here. So we can even use the spare cards that came with this envelope set as well to pop inside. So I have some cutter parts here which I'm going to cut out, and I have two of these pieces. It's just basically one of these chopped in half, so 2.5 inches, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to add one this side and this side of the flap, and then cut out some of these elements here so that they overlap onto the outside cover. So I'm going to have to trim some of this off, so grab some scissors, and then I'm just going to add some glue to this one. I'm using Collall glue. I'm going to add some more glue to the other one. Okay, so I've just moved everything into place. I can still just about move stuff if it's not in the right place. So here you can use a corner rounder. You can round off the corners if you want. I'm going to think about it for a little while. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to trim out all of my little bits, and I do have another sheet as well of some flowers and things from the collection. So there's absolutely loads in this collection, so you'll be absolutely spoiled for choice. Right, so I'm going to cut these out and then I'll be right back. Okay, so I've cut all my little bits out, and I've added this one just here. It's two circles exactly the same size. I've just trimmed them out by hand. I didn't use a die or a punch, so it's all freehand. And I've added one of the roses just there. So what I'm going to do is I'll probably add a date here once I've got my photos in. And so let's open that up. So let me show you some of these really close up, because I absolutely love these. I love anything to do with, what's the word, historic themed things. Trying to get it to focus. So there's absolutely lovely things here. Look at this as an envelope here. Not going to focus. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to put you guys on fast forward while I add everything on, and then I'll be right back at the end to show you the finished album. Okay, so here's my finished album. I've added loads of extra embellishments there. So let's open it up. So you can make this as long as you want, just keep adding the envelopes. So I've made some inserts as well. So these are the actual cards that come with the pack, and I've trimmed them down to 4.5 so that they could fit in there, and I've added a clip as well. So these actually do come off, and I'll show you what they are. They are Mr. Smith's Workshop metal label clips, and now these are by Do Crafts Paper Mania. So I absolutely love these. These were in my stash, so if I can find a link for these, it will be down in the description box. Okay, so that just slides in there. And I also made some tuck points as well, so I only added adhesive along the bottom here so I could tuck things in. I think this one's down completely, but I did leave a little gap there so something else can get popped into there. So I added another tuck point here, so I might take this one out and then maybe tuck that one in there. So I can also print off some small photos as well and tuck them in, but I'm thinking keeping the front pages bare minimum, and maybe add a couple of photos, but add some larger ones on the inside. So we've got some nice photo mats to go in there. Moving along, so we have one more here. That's going to pop out. Pop that in, and I've got another tuck point here for this little envelope. This clock's stuck down completely. And then on the other side here I have a little journaling point here so I can write the details of what's going to be in the album, and then a date as well. So if you have some white ink, an ink pad, you can, and a date stamp, you can just add that there. That would look really good. Right, so that's today's project, but before I go, Knitwit Collections have a new release that's out today. It's called Farmhouse, and I've printed off some of my favourites. So this is just a drop in the pool of what's available. So some lovely blues here. So the farmhouse is really on trend at the moment. So I've printed these out at 5x7. Lovely ship black one there. So I'll be using this in my next project. I won't tell you what I'll be making, it's going to be a surprise. So there are also loads of elements that you can print out as well. And they're good enough quality so you can actually have them quite large. So this one would look really good printed up and framed, as well as these ones as well. So there's absolutely loads of artwork there for you to print out. And my favourite bit, I think, is definitely these flowers. So I printed them out in different sizes. So I just put these in a Word document just so I could print them out. So I've saved my document now, so I can print these out as many times as I want, and it will keep the sizes. So then you can do some decoupage, cutting out as well, and layer them up. So that collection is called the Farmhouse Collection, and I'll have links down below for that. And in the next week or so, I'll have a project making this making something from here. So thank you for joining me today, and I'll see you next time.